You can see it's pretty big, covers a good area. Very useful, especially here in Houston. Everyone should be using these. If you don't use these and I get cut, I'm not gonna be mad at you, but I'm gonna be disappointed. Please use them. How's it going, Fortis? My name is Christian. This is my Ram 5500 service truck. I will be going over some tools that I use, some tools that I don't use, and I hope y'all enjoy. Starting off in the cab, we'll start with the driver's side door. I have a vest just in case job site needs me to wear it. Some liquid IV, deodorant, very important behind the seat. So I got one hard hat, two hard hat, you never know. Then here I have my welding umbrella I got online. It's a black stallion, it's color blue. You can see it's pretty big, covers a good area, and also has an extension. Another great feature about this is it tilts ever so slightly in both directions. Very useful, especially here in Houston. Moving on, we have some AC gauges that are questionable if they work or not. I do have some other ones. These are just the just-in cases. Some safety glasses, shaded. I have some cutting goggles. So these are really dark tinted for use of the cutting torch. Down here I have a couple notebooks just to write stuff down, the part numbers, serial numbers, whatever. A couple paint markers that I use to write on filters. On this side, got some gloves. These are winter gloves. It's starting to get cold here in Houston, so starting to wear those a lot more. Generic OBD2 scanner for scanning any kind of vehicle, really. I have a jacket for when it gets a little bit colder. Some leather gloves for handling heavy materials and such. I have a couple masks for if I get in a real dusty area, I can just slap one on and that works. Here are another set of torch goggles, just dark tinted, work very well. Back here we have our diagnostic tool. This is a Texa unit, so you use this, and this is the cable. It's a OBD2 cable, but it comes with different adapters for John Deere, I know for sure. And I have a box with a bunch of other adapters to go to different machines like Hitachi, Volvo, so on and so forth. Right here I have a new welding helmet. I actually got this for free from one of my old co-workers. I showed my friends this and they called me a Power Ranger. Yeah, Power Ranger-esque. Here we have a jump pack, fat, heavy jump pack, and there are some Komatsu teeth in there, but we don't need to go over that. On my person, I usually carry one flashlight, my mini pry bar, screwdriver, magnet, then have your average knife, just any use really, opening boxes, so on and so forth. Up here we have your run-of-the-mill air compressor, air tank, and we have a Miller welder. Not sure what model, but came with the truck. Can't complain. It's been working since I started. So, all right, we got our first cabinet. Up top, we have a serpentine belt tool. It's just a real thin. We have 1 and 2 breaker bars. So these are just your cheap breaker bars. I've warranted this one probably 4 or 5 times. This is a Power Torque from O'Reilly's. This is a Pittsburgh. Right here, another O'Reilly's pry bar. They refused to warranty this one because of this. It was a striking pry bar. It was. I might have hit it with a sledgehammer. I got a set of these ladies' foot pry bars. Very useful for aligning belly pan holes, prying in obscure angles. Find a lot of uses for these. Definitely recommend. This is just the wire that goes outside of the hydraulic hoses, just like that. I took it off of an old hose that I replaced. I got a couple wrenches. These are all Pittsburgh, but I got from 35 all the way to 50. So these are where I keep my big wrenches up here. But back here, pull these out. I got Matco adjustable pry bars. These are very useful. This right here is my Sunex angle wrench set. It goes from 3/8 to 1 1/4. Very useful for if you got a real awkward bolt. And usually it's a bad day when I have to pull these out, because it's one of these, then one of these, then one of these, then one of these, and just keep doing that for about 90 minutes straight. Usually these are one of my first things to grab if I gotta go up to a machine or something and I don't have my tool, my truck available, because it has a lot of sizes on it. In the top drawer, we have all of my sockets that I use mainly. I just got these. These are Pittsburgh, but these are ball head sockets, so I tend to frequent these a lot now, just because they get in some areas that I can't really get with straight Allens. This is my favorite set, if I'm being honest. These are Sunex swivel 1/2 inch sockets. Go from 12 to 24, so it's a great set. It's no skips. Then here I have some shallow sockets. Goes from 10 to 24, another no skip. Great to have. These are 1/2 inch. So I have standard 3/8, metric 3/8, standard 1/2 inch, metric 1/2 inch, then metric and standard 1/4 inch. I tend to have everything I need to have. I haven't had a job where I'm missing something really, so they've kept up with me so far in my career. Second drawer is all my pliers, vice grips, stuff like that. Have all my adjustable, God, what do you call these? Channel locks, yeah. I got a rainbow over here. I have one of every brand imaginable. Now I'm playing. But I do have some original channel locks. These are Milwaukee, Matco, and Pittsburgh. Usually I'll use these to hold something while I'm welding. Like if I'm scared to grab it with my hand, there we go. Then I got some Klein electrical cutters, strippers, crimpers, whatever you want. I don't tend to use these really. What I do use is this Blue Point, a stripper plier. Works very well, and I use it with this crimper. It's just a Doyle from Harbor Freight, but it's worked up until this point, so I can't complain. Got a couple dikes. So these are spring dikes, and then these are just regular dikes. Then here we have a selection of needle nose. Got Craftsman, Pittsburgh. Now these two, I'm guessing, are specialty. I've never seen this, but I'm gonna assume that I'm gonna need it later in my life, so I keep it on the truck. And these are just some flat needle nose. Oh, these are channel locks as well, so there you go. Pretty flat. Then we have another set of channel locks. These are just real small if I need to grab something small. Don't use them too often, but maybe I'll need it, maybe I won't. Here we have some vice grip clamps. This is what I use for welding butter bars on excavators, or just holding anything I need to weld, or holding anything stationary. I use these. Here I got some filter wrenches. So this is my first set that I ever got in my life. I got this at O'Reilly's probably when I was 12. Did my first oil change on a GMC Acadia. Then I got some K-Tool. These I actually love. The adjuster is real fine, so you can just grab onto really anything. And if that doesn't do the trick, I also have this filter strap from Matco. This thing gets me out of some sticky situations. I'll just put this with the breaker bar and we're good to go. These are the only two actual vice grips I have. This is a Matco, this is a Craftsman. They served me well. I do need to get some more though. Now, you've seen them everywhere. You know the brand. You know the gimmick. You know everything about them. It's the snap-on, adjustable, needle nose, whatever. These things I'll vouch for any day of the week. Love these things. I'll use them till they go out, and I don't think they're gonna. So if any snap-on dealers or anything want to come, bring your business over here, I'll be happy to serve you. So here I got some Blue Point hose clamps. I just used these today. Real useful. Clamp onto anything. They hold real good too. Never fell off on me, so that's a plus. Here we got some cheap old Doyle bolt cutters, wire cutters. They're pretty trash if I'm being honest. I need to get them Nipix ones. them real fancy ones. Some cutters I use these for battery cables. You know, if you got to cut them to size, they're real good. High leverage. They'll cut through a lot of Here we got some cheap old pliers. I've had these since my first job, so I like to keep them around. Then we got the flush cuts. Everyone should be using these. If you don't use these and I get cut, I'm not gonna be mad at you, but I'm gonna be disappointed. Please use them. People like to use regular cutters on the zip ties. Let's say that zip tie is set. Your average Joe coming in like, oh yeah, let me cut that. Leaves the slightest nip right there where you can cut yourself. Or where I can cut myself 8 times in one day, which has happened. This drawer holds all my screwdrivers, picks. That's really it. So I got some of these Matco screwdrivers. They're real great. I have a whole set of these. Real long, real small, the mini ones. Here I got a long Craftsman flathead. This is an old Mac flathead screwdriver, but I use this as a pry bar, as a punch, you name it. This thing's got me. Here we have a snap-on that's been filed down for God knows why. That's how I got it. Here's another old vintage snap-on that I don't use. I just like to have on the truck to brag about. Here we have all my most used picks. So we got a straight Craftsman, a hook Craftsman, a straight snap-on, and this one, man. Let me tell you about this one. I'll use this for anything I can. O-rings, getting dirt out the way. I mean, picking my boogers. This thing works for anything. It's also snap-on. This set, it was a gift from one of my cousins. Don't use them. They're too thin, if I'm being honest. They bend real easy. I still keep them on the truck just in case, though. This is a spark plug gap checker. Real useful for gasoline. I don't deal in gasoline, unfortunately. Here we have a makeshift pin. This is from an EC 350 Volvo. This is just the pin that holds in the tooth on there. And now I just use it for if I gotta beat anything. Next drawer we got wrenches. So I just got some smaller hydraulic wire. They fit perfectly in here, so thought I might as well use them. I got metric, Sunex. Now this set is great because it has a sort of a flank drive, whatever, if you see in there. Kind of like snap-on, but doesn't work as good, of course. But it's still a great starter set. Then I got some gear wrench. One of my first sets that I got, and it came with metric and standard. And it's still holding up today, so that's pretty impressive. Right here, I got some of my bigger wrenches. I think it goes from 7/8 to 1 1/4. Then this right here is the extension for this serpentine belt tool. So this is a 3/8 anvil, and this is a 1/2 inch anvil. So if it's a 1/2 inch instead of 3/8, just smack this dude on, and it works great. And the good thing about it is you can put it at some good angles, get you whatever tensioner you need to get to. I have most of my extensions. So here I have a locking extension. One of my philosophies is for specialty extensions, get the shortest one you can, because you can always add on to the longer ones if you need to, and it works the same. Right here we got a wobble. I only have one of these. I only have one of both of these. So wobbles are great for, you need to get in the tight area. Here's some of my adjustable wrenches. 2 adjustable wrenches on the truck. They work. What can I say? Moving on, this is the Ratchet brush file bit Allen drawer. Over here we got a cheap Cobalt Allen set. Here we got some DeWalt Allen sets, metric and standard. For no particular reason, I have a 1-inch wrench, and this is a 15/16. I don't know why I have these, but they're in there. Now this set right here is from 1998, and it cost $45 back then. Everything's in it, still brand spanking new, and I'll probably never use it in my life. Then here, just my regular Milwaukee bit set. I use this all the time. A couple drill bits. These are Craftsman. Can't complain, they get the job done. That's a common theme with me. Just get the job done and you're good to go. Man, this ratchet, some Matco, flex head, 3/8. Man, I've had this thing since trade school. Never had to warranty it. Still works great. One of my best ratchets I've ever used in my life. Here we have a Tecton 1/2 inch non-locking flex head, which kind of grinds my gears because I don't know, man. Just trying to wrench on something and you get the weirdest angle and I don't know. I like the locking flex head better. Then here we have a old Craftsman 3/8 flex head. It's a non-locking too, but I like this one more because I don't know. It's kind of nostalgic, even though it was made before I was made. So we have two old snap-on 3/8 wrenches. This one doesn't work at all. It doesn't even have a switch, but this one does, and I don't use it. It's nice to have on the truck. Then we have a DeWalt 1/2 inch, just a straight head. This was off of my first tool set that I bought. So it was a DeWalt with a bunch of sockets and ratchets, wrenches. Came with those Allen bits too. The weird thing is, I got that set because the set that the school gave me, it was all Silver Eagle. They were sponsored by Matco, so they gave us Silver Eagle stuff, and I had it in my garage while I was living in Dallas. It got stolen. I had two sets, so I had a 1/2 inch, and then I had a 3/8 and 1/4 inch. They both got stolen, and I had the first generation stubby Milwaukee Impact, and they took that too. So here we have a Matco 1/4 inch straight head. I love this thing. I just had it warranted out. It used to be pink, but I arced it out on a battery terminal and took out a little chunk from probably like right there. So had to warranty that. Here we have a Matco round head swivel. This thing is great. I like using it. It's a 100 tooth. It's real fine. You know, you can do one of these. Then when it's too tight, you just move it over. Here we have a Blue Point bit ratchet. It's pretty useful. I use it with my Milwaukee bits. All right, here we got some C-clamps, clear hose, mirror. It's a Matco, just to look around the engine bay or whatnot. Got a couple chucks and the air gauge. Here we have a carbon scraper. This one's been through the ringer though. It's got a pretty f***ed up edge. This, man, I've had this since trade school. It's been through everything. I think I left it out in the rain once, but it still came back, still works. Then here we have God's fastest battery tester for 12-volt systems. You literally just says good or no. Oh, it tests the alternator too. So if the engine's running, you could just put that on and it'll tell you. For 12-volt systems though, I learned that the hard way. Almost diagnosed a bad alternator on 24-volt. Here we got some punches and chisels. These are just Pittsburgh. Here I have a lot of my angle grinder stuff. So we got some grinders, some wire wheels, grinding wheels, die grinder, cutoff wheels. These are Harbor Freight. These right here are some Mac extractors. As you can tell, these have kind of been through the ringer. I broke two of them already. Funny thing is, when you break one in a bolt, it's kind of hard to drill it out because these are real tough. Here we have a Matco torch. Very useful. I use this for electrical all the time. And of course, I think everyone has one of these. It's just a test light. Very useful. Bottom drawer, we have all of my big. So we have hammers, pipe wrench, this is Pittsburgh, adjustable wrench, this is a Doyle, another channel lock, this is another Doyle. I actually found this on a piece of equipment. I lied to the lady in Harbor Freight. I told her I've had this for 10 years. She believed me and she warranted it, of course. That's why Harbor Freight is on top. Next door. In here we got all my impacts, a couple blow mold cases. Here we have some knee pads for if I need another promotion. Angle grinder. It's It's got a cutoff wheel right now. I use this fairly often for cleaning off excavator teeth and whatnot. Here we have a battery load tester. This thing's great. Pretty easy to use. Now in this, I just have a bunch of fuses that I might use. By the way, these snap-on magnetic pads, whatever, these work great. I love this thing. In here, I have a high torque Hercules 1/2 inch. I have Milwaukee stubby. So this one is new. I got this last week, but the week before that, I was working on one of the 350s over there, and I left this on the track. I forgot. Got in the excavator, started moving her around, and walked back. I saw a pile of batteries, a pile of red here, red there, and I was like, after that I just called up my Matco lady. I was like, I got an emergency, I need another stubby impact. So yeah, she saved my career there, allegedly. Then we got a Milwaukee drill, Milwaukee impact driver, Milwaukee electric ratchet. This is the first generation, but I still love it. You know, you do the little clutch drop to get off some bolts. It works great. Actually, I got this hacksaw, this light, then the older version of this drill, and the older version of this driver in a set for $140 from Home Depot. And that's what I started off my first job with. Here we have a Aircat die grinder. Right now it has a burr bit. If you ever need to take off a lot of material, these burr bits are great. And yeah, this just runs off air. Pneumatic impact. This is just an earthquake from Harbor Freight. Pretty useful. Lots of torque. And then here we got 3/8 pneumatic ratchet. Hardly use it. Matco snap ring plier sets. The bigger set, this is the size smaller. Then this set is the real fine plier set. And I actually got them from my old coworker. He sold them to me for I think $160, and originally I think they're like $250. So good deal there. Right here I have a pulley puller set and installer. This is just a Maddox Harbor Freight. Wire terminal tools. This is just for electrical connectors. We have a Matco relay buddy. Man, this thing works wonders. If you're chasing something and you're like, oh, maybe it's a relay, you don't know how to test it, man, right here. You got 12 and 24 volt. You just hook these up to the battery, hold this button down, and pray it doesn't turn red. You got a Tecton Allen and Torx bit set. These are 1/2 inch actually. Torx go from T30 to T70, and we got metric and standard Allens. We got my AC gauges. I diagnosed a lot of AC problems with these, and I like to keep the original package on it because it's got directions, so in case I ever like forget. Pittsburgh wrenches. These are great for just quick turns, not really tightening stuff, but just turning bolts. Here I have some, I think these are JIS plugs and caps. I just use those for hydraulic fittings and so on. And then these are JIC, just your regular run-of-the-mill. Got these at Hose Tech. In here I've started my nuts and bolts collection of endless variety. Of course, I'm not up to par with a lot of the older mechanics yet, but that'll get me where I need to go. Over here we got gloves, shop towels, different containers with fuses, butt connectors, AC O-rings, washers, snap rings, O-ring sets, one metric, one standard. Grease fittings, very, very important. Operators, please grease your machines. Those pins are hard to get out. I think y'all know what these are called. And if y'all don't, they're butt plugs. And all of this stuff is just stuff that I might need. Okay, we can move on to here. Up here, we got an extension hose, blowgun, air gauge. Now this thing, it took us about 6 months to find one of these. And if you don't know what this is, it's just an air chuck for the big dump trucks. These are extremely hard to find. I don't know about anywhere else, but here in Houston, they were. Here we have an extension cable and welding leads, so I got a positive and negative. Here's my air hose. It doesn't extend too far, but that's why I have the extension. Then here we have some O'Reilly's funnel. Those are the 3 funnels I have. And here we have a singular bottle jack. So this vise, it's opening, right? No, you gotta pull it and then use it. It does clamp down though, so I've yet to replace it. Now in the back, I just carry a bit of fluid, a bit of cribbing, ladder. Actually, I do have this for my breaker bars. I just slide this over them. And this is for some pins if I gotta, you know, beat them like that. All right, here there is supposed to be oxygen and acetylene. However, we just ended our air gas subscription, I guess, and so we're getting some different bottles. But here we have some refrigerant, 134A, and a vacuum pump that's seen some. Here we have some pads to lay on, you know, get under an excavator or dozer or whatever. Here we have my sledge. So this has been in my family since I was born, I'd say. And yeah, I just took it from my dad. I didn't tell him. And here we have your very average size pry bar. This is a Tecton, and it is a striking handle. Very useful. I use this to put on tracks and, you know, clear dirt or whatever. So we got Liftmore 3612. It's not the strongest crane, but it's helped me put on a couple sets of tracks, so I can't complain about that. Well, thank you guys for watching. This was my truck tour. If y'all have any questions, comments, or concerns, drop them down below. If you have any advice you want to give me as a first-year equipment mechanic, I'd be happy to take y'all's advice. But it's getting dark here, so thank you very much.
Once again, head over to FortisHG.com for any tools, tracks, or parts you need. If you want to watch another video, you can click here.